Hey guys, welcome back to Jimmy Rigged. Today we're working on my neighbor's four-wheeler. We were talking at Thanksgiving. I got to see him and he was saying how he went to hook up his plow. He uses this to plow his driveway. He turns the key on and the engine light comes on and no dash lights and it doesn't do anything. So he put some jumper cables on it and all it did was click. So I think I know exactly what's wrong with it. I think the battery's dead. He doesn't drive it much. And he only uses it to plow, which isn't running very long. He said he started it a couple times during the summer, but that's not enough really to charge the battery up. There's a lot of electronics on these newer four-wheelers that will drain the battery just by running it. So you got to really run them a while or keep them on a trickle charger to keep the battery up so when you want to use it. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the battery out. We're going to get a new battery for it. He had it kind of disassembled. We'll put it all back together, but we're also going to buy a slow charger or a trickle charger for it so he can plug it into his garage and keep it charged when he's not using it, so when he wants to hook onto it. Especially during the winter when he's going to plow with it. The plow is going to take a lot of that battery life out of it. This is the original battery. I'm not really sure what year this is. It's a CF Moto. I think it's a 600. Yeah, it's a 600. I'm not positive on the year, but he's got speakers. He's got tons of lights. There's LED lights in the back. So definitely got a lot of accessories on here that are going to drain that battery out if you're not using it much and you're just starting it up and just maybe tooling around your yard with it. It's not enough to get enough charge in that battery. So we're going to try to charge the battery to kind of save him some money there to see if it will pull the charge back up. If not, either way, we're going to put a trickle charger on it, but we'll probably just get a new battery when we have it out and replace that one there for him so he can get back to plowing his driveway. We got some snow the other day around Thanksgiving time, so we want to make sure he's ready to go. All right, let's get in it and tear this battery off and go from there. All right, so on this particular CF Moto model, the battery's in the back, so you got to pop these little clips out, pull this off, and then you can get to the battery here. I've disconnected the cables already. And now we just got to yank the battery out. There was a rubber, right here is the rubber zip strap that went around it. And I kind of went down there and clipped. So we pulled that off, kind of tucked this out of the way. We're going to pull the battery out, go get him a new battery and get him a tender for it and see what we can get going here. I did have to unscrew this little, almost be like a little relay or something out of the way so I can get to the battery. Make sure I got plenty of room to grab that battery and get it out of there. Looks like it's sitting in this little web harness to help you lift it out. So when you can see, it still says CF Moto on the battery. So it's definitely the original battery, which with all these features on it. It's got this little switch panel over there. Lots of lights, big speakers. I don't know, he's got a Bigfoot lights on here. This Martian thing, whatever this stuff does. And and then he's got like a little charger for his cell phone, and then it's got a full screen up there on the front. So it's definitely going to take a lot of battery life out of there just if you're running it short time. So all right, let's go get him a battery and get him a charger, and then we'll come back and see what we can do to this bad boy. Alrighty, so we got the battery, and we're going to get that put in. I want to talk to you a little bit about customer service, because where I went to get this battery, I thought I'd stop up to Advanced Auto. It's right up the road from my house. Went there and said, hey, can I get this battery? I know they don't carry four-wheeler parts, but you can get a battery to match. I mean, it was, with the ampage that it needed to be, the cranking amps and stuff like that. And the guy was like, man, just miserable. Just totally miserable guy. And so then I went to O'Reilly's. And let me tell you, the experience walking to O'Reilly's was amazing. I went in there, the guy was like, we don't carry those parts, but let's see if we can match it. And he took the numbers off the batteries, measured it for me, looked it up on the computer, went and found it, $179. I got me a battery. The guy was so friendly, so nice, helped me out. Anytime I go to O'Reilly's, you can definitely see the difference in customer service. So anyways, let's get this baby slapped in here and see if this doesn't help us out with our issues. Fits in there perfect. Came with a new little screw here and stuff. So let's get all that put on. Now, before we hook that up, I did get a battery maintainer for it at Harbor Freight. Let me show you that. It was like 29 bucks. So we're gonna put that out. We're gonna run some wires through there and so that he can plug it in, and it's just going to maintain it and kind of like a charger, keeps it up to par. Like I said, if you don't drive these a lot and they just sit around, after a while, the battery, 6 months, the battery's going to drain. You're going to start up thinking, oh man, I started up and running. You're just going to kill that battery. And after a while, it's not going to hold the charge, which the other one, I tested it and it just was not holding the charge. I couldn't get the charger to even pull it up. It said, you know, it wasn't working there and stuff. So just get new batteries, AGM battery. So you will put this tender on it, or maintainer, or trickle charger, whatever you want to call it. And so he can plug it in. And it's going to be permanently mounted, so he can unplug it just like my Harley's charging right now on its tender. So we're going to do that. Let me get a knife here and we'll get this cut open, and we'll start getting this wire. Okay guys, this is what we got for this battery maintainer from Harbor Freight. And this is, I think it was like 30 bucks, $29. It has this little end here that you plug in. So what's nice about this maintainer that some don't come with is it has a way that you can just clip it on with battery clips if you just want it temporary. But if you want it permanent, it did come with already plugged the things to hook to the battery mounts, and it gives you a nice long wire, and it's got the cover on it for the thing so you can plug it in. So we're definitely gonna use this one. We're gonna mount this to the battery before we hook the battery up and run this wire out. So all I have to do is plug it in and it maintains it. So let's get right on to that then. Okay, so I kind of run this wire. This is for the battery tender. I'm gonna run it that way because I think I can zip tie it to a little plate over there. So let's first get the power wires all hooked up here so they're in nice. This must go to his winch. Yeah, this is power into his winch. So we'll put that one on the bottom. This one there, and then the... Yeah, I'll kind of do that. Let me get the nut here. So they come in this, the battery came with this little cover, and it had the screws all right in it. And so then bend this just a little bit so it gets a better terminal connection. Sit down there flatter. This is going to go here. And that little thing's a pain. There we go. There. Okay, so we got that side done. Now let's get this other side. There we go. So let's see what happens now when we go to start it up. All right, so last time when we turned the key on, no dash, so we're getting dash lights now. Hear the fuel pump running. It's getting up in there. Got the engine light, the oil on. Let's hit the starter. Look at that, started right up. So that's definitely what was the matter with it. The battery was totally shot. So we got it started. Let's I gotta put the screws back in. Let's button this battery compartment up, and I'll show you where we're gonna run the wires. We'll put the cover back on it, and we'll take it for some test drives and see how it goes. But definitely the battery was shot. That needed to be replaced. This tender will help him not have this issue again. Maintainer. And so let's just button this one up. All right, so we got the battery hooked up. This is the fuse for the tender. Battery tender's over there. Got the cover on. Let's get this cover on. So these kind of snap into these rubber grommets, and should snap in there pretty easy. These go in here. Pull these little pins out a little bit more so they okay. Push them in there and just snap them in back in. When they're real easy, pop back in. Sometimes I found just kind of when you pull them out, squeeze that back in a little bit so it goes back through the two of them. And just give it a good pop in there. And that's there. Now he had the seat off, but I think I can see where this all goes back in here in this bracket. I had these things on it. They're little rubber protectors. I'll put that back in those holes. They're back in there. Now let's get the seat portion. All right, so this is the parts he had tore apart from it. I'm assuming they go on here like this. Back here. Go back here. So this is where the seat connects. Yep, perfect. So let me grab a socket for that. Assuming this went in here, there's a couple clips right here. Like that. And we'll get the seat for it. The seat should clip. There we go. All right. Let's go take it for a ride. Now, before we take it for a ride, let's zip tie that tender on the side. All right. So right here is where this tender is coming out. I'm thinking I can fish it I don't know if you can see that. There's just this little hole. And I should be able to zip tie it. Right there. Get the cutter and cut that off. All right, so the way this works is he's going to take his battery tender or maintainer or whatever you want to call these things, trickle charger. And this, pull this cover off and this cover off. I'm going to put that in there. And this gives you a long enough cord, he can just plug it into whatever socket he wants to. And that'll keep his battery maintained. So, should be good to go. All right, let's take it for a ride. Looks like this needs a little bit of adjustment here. Fuel pump kicks on. So we got it running good. Everything seems to be good. No lights come on. Everything starts like it should. It was definitely a battery issue. Now that we got that all figured out, he should have no problems keeping this battery up with the tender. He should be able to plow with no issues. So I'm going to run it on over to his house and park it back in his garage and hook his plow up for him and plug the tender in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.